In this video, two teams comprising of a chef and a normal face off in a culinary relay.
We have a table of ingredients behind us and the theme today is budget bougie.
But before they get cooking, they've got a vital thing to figure out. Who is going to go first and last?
Alternating goes, 8 minutes each, and we both get to go twice.
Yeah, so do you want to set us on a path?
Happily.
And then trust me 3 goes later to finish it off?
Yeah, sure.
Or do you want me to run in a direction and then you're going to have to fix it?
Should we toss? Oh, that was mine, Jay. Don't expect a result.
Where did it go?
Plating or plating?
Our strengths are the same.
The same, I know. I'm the same as you.
Okay, usually I'd say.
We're stood in this order. Should we just do it like that?
I don't think he wants to be on my team.
Oh, so it's you to the same time.
And we're going to hide in here.
Yeah.
Yes! Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And probably yes. And yes.
Maybe yes.
And yes.
Possibly yes.
So my thinking is, we've got a fair whack of time, so why don't I get something started that Ebbers can add some chefy flair to, I can come along and, you know, add my normal's flair to, and then he can fix it right at the end. So, base, I'm thinking sofrito style. I've got celery, onion, I've got some pepper instead of some carrot, I've got some tomato, and I'm thinking I'm going to squeeze some sausages into there, and we kind of got this base that's meaty and could go in a lot of different directions.
I think I'm going bold. I've picked up some apples and some custard and some Nobby's nuts and some bread. And I want to go sweet because we don't usually go sweet. So I'm going to try and poach some apples. I'm making sugar syrup. Going to core these, drop them in. We're going to make a custard. It's instant custard. And then kind of like a nutty crumb that we'll fry off and put over the top, like super simple dessert. I've also picked up some savoury stuff because I know Barry might want to do something else.
Are you happy with Barry and that he's going to be able to continue what you're doing and not completely derail what you've started?
You know what? It's part of the fun to fix his problems. I wanted Barry to go first because he's very creative, but I kind of had an idea as soon as I saw the table, so I wanted to guide us.
Interesting.
So that was a hard choice for me.
Now the problem is, what if Barry also looked at the table and went, I've got an idea?
Well, I'm kind of trying to anticipate that by putting some other ingredients on our table, but, you know, I see the guac there, and that's probably going to be incorporated, right?
Next up, I'm going to crumble some sausages out of their skins into a frying pan, try and get them going. I want to do it in there, but I don't think I've got the time. I want that to cook down further first. So doing it separately means it can happen at the same time. He can combine later, it'll be all right. What is wrong with these sausages? Right, this is not.
Crumb is going into the oil. Here we go.
Annoyingly, in the time that it took me to squeeze the sausages out into the frying pan and for the frying pan to heat up, the vegetables have sweated down enough that I could have added them straight into there. Let's do that.
Okay, I've taken my apples out. It literally took that long to cook them. I don't want them too soft. They're just going to stay there. The syrup is going to stay on the whole time, so it's going to reduce all the way down. I've got my breadcrumbs on, and I've kind of started doing some savoury stuff to guide Barry, hopefully, maybe.
Don't have time to open that. What I was going to do was add a little bit of curry powder in, because then that would definitely give us a direction. But I think I've done a good enough job to get us started. Ebbs can take that in 100 different directions, or I'm going to find it over there and I'll have to pick it up in my next go.
What is he doing?
Sausage casserole. It looks like onion, garlic, pepper, sausage, A-OK.
Apple sauce? Apple custard? James has put so much faith in me. He's put everything out in a very clear and meaningful way. I just don't know what the meaning is.
I think when you are...
That's sweet! I'm making pudding, Ben!
Well, I was just thinking the same. So I suddenly thought if we're using budget ingredients, just because you're on a budget doesn't mean you have to miss out on dessert. So I'm going to do something similar. Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
It looks like we're making kind of a fancy apple crumble, but there's pork also out. What is the plan, James?
I'm going to use this bread to basically make apple pies.
I'm not...
Because you mentioned apple, and I can see apple. It's the only sweet thing, and if we're going to do sweet, that's the only way we'll do it, right? A trio of apple pie.
I was going to make apple pie as well.
Sugared
I can't
bread.
make apple pie now. I can't make apple pie. What can I make?
I would typically do this with butter and then sugar, but we haven't got any butter, so oil and sugar. That will crisp up nicely like a good French toast, and then we'll put a filling in, and we'll make a filling. Way!
Tell you what I would do. I'm going to change it. We are not going sweet, James. I think there's everything there to do a delicious pork chop. Now, those apples, I think, should be turned into a delicious apple sauce. Okay, I'm going to stew those down.
In order to cook this quickly, I'm grating the apple. This will work a treat. So we've got a sweet, but otherwise unflavoured kind of casing, a cheats pastry. Apple, apricot, jam. Now, a jam tart would be lovely, but with the body of apple, and just so that all the moisture of the apple doesn't make the whole thing too wet, a little bit of that.
You can't do that!
I just did.
Okay, so this hot water is going to be for potatoes. We're going to parboil them into chips. We're making chips.
I'm just going to put this in the hot oven. Okay, back to what Jamie has created, and in the relay, what can we add to it? At the moment, it's a sausage mixture. A-OK, but where do we take it? Celery, very cheap. Also, probably hated by normals, and if the chefs didn't pick it up, it'd get left behind. Clove of garlic, celery, oil, salt, pepper. Staple carbs to bulk out this dish. Potato, I'm going to have to cut them up quite small, and it's all going to be a bit wet. What's it going to look like on a plate? It's going to be a bit wet. It's going to be very wet. Right, celery's going to braise off with a bay leaf. Never go anywhere with that one. That has grown literally in the last week or so, which is why it's a really fresh bay leaf, but it will do the job. At which point, some cream cheese and some ketchup. So you've got the bitter, savoury celery with sweet, sour ketchup and some creamy cheese to go alongside Jamie's cassoulet. And now I'm going to bulk out with potato.
Herbs. James, get in there quickly, because things are going to burn.
Okay, I've got everything on high. I've done my first round. I need to get Jamie back in for his relay.
There might be a fire if I don't get James in now.
He needs to add liquid.
They're both on. Both the hobs are on night. Right. What have we got? We've got more celery and garlic and a bay leaf. Great. That's going to do a lot.
We are boiling potato wedges in sugar syrup. So we have sweet potato wedges.
What is that?
Vanilla scented sweet potato wedges.
You make mince pies. What's going on?
So we'll roll with that. This is some oil. This is a lot of oil. Does he want me to fry the potatoes? Are we boiling them, then frying them? And we have some onions frying, which probably needs some kind of saucy stuff to go with it. Got some open alcohol here.
Apple, kale.
This wasn't supposed to be stressful.
What is happening?
Jay, how you doing?
I'm doing terribly, mate.
Me too.
I don't. You know what we were saying about is Barry going to come along and just completely ignore what you've done, or is he going to add to it?
I don't know why we didn't speak about Ben doing that for you.
Yeah, because I don't. He's added more celery to a dish, and nothing has ever needed more celery.
Have you got potatoes cooking in vanilla sugar syrup?
I have what I think are apple pies cooking in the oven. We're going to have to go with something, aren't we? This is what I was going to do. I'm going to add some curry powder into this.
I'm going to fry these potatoes. He's got chili flakes. We're going to go in with chili flakes, fennel seeds. I know what he's done. He's ignored the dessert and he's gone savoury. That's what he's done. He wants an apple sauce, doesn't he?
Ketchup and cream cheese into some celery with some bay leaves and garlic. Is that what we're doing? That doesn't sound like something we should be doing.
I don't see any stock cubes, but I found some soy sauce.
This needs liquid.
Is there any stock down there?
I don't know what's...
Yeah, there's some stock.
What is... I just need something liquidy. Hula hoops.
Right, we've used all the water. Sugar syrup is going into the gravy.
This has got tomato sauce in it. With the sausages, with the curry powder. I think that's going to be nice. Ketchup.
Have you got any water over there?
I need water. I need water.
There's a kettle. Thank you, Dom.
We've made a pasta sauce. So therefore I'm boiling some pasta. I know what we could do. Take the bay leaf out, it's done its job, whatever, fine. We'll add some sugar into it and we're going to caramelise the celery.
Fries are going to go in here. I'm not sure that's what Barry wanted, but that's what he's got.
It's not bad. It needs some jalapeno mustard, a little bit of honey, tamarind sauce, flavour. Ooh.
So we've got pork, applesauce. We've got a crumb, which I'm going to add some salt to. We have a gravy, and then we've got this pan heating up. And just before I leave, I'm going to put the pork on.
Something vinegary. Where are you? Something vinegary.
Ooh.
Something vinegary.
Wow.
Something vinegary. Malt vinegar, that's vinegary.
I want to use something tinned that you wouldn't usually use. So this is tinned gammon. I'm just going to put it through the gravy. It's like, you know, like a kind of bacon style thing.
I've turned that into an incredible sauce. I'm boiling off some pasta. I think that's going to create a pasta sauce. I don't know what the plan was with the celery, but maybe that will go with what I presume is apple pies in the oven.
I completely abandoned my plan and made sugar syrup fries, started off the pork and made a gravy and an apple sauce. And good luck, Barry.
Whoa, okay, we've got
the
everything.
heck?
What is... Everything is on fire and burning. What
Same
happened
here.
to that? Why is there so much... Is it sugar or oil? Don't know what that is, but it must stop now.
Where are my apples gone?
What happened to that?
Oh! Apple puree, yes. Crumble, yes. Crunch.
Pasta, what is he doing? We've got carbs in here.
This looks good. James done a great job here.
I'm taking this out of this pan because it cannot continue to cook in a pan that he's burnt the bottom of, okay? So that's no good. At some point, he opened the oven and didn't push play. So for the whole of his time, those apple pies haven't been cooking. Okay.
And a bit of spice, oregano, and some chilli to that gravy. Lovely. I think all I have to do here is plate. That's
Why is that
incredible.
so
Thank you,
sweet?
James.
By adding volume and stickiness to this mix, there's now not enough liquid to cook out the potatoes. I was really hoping that we were going to go for a beautiful, bougie, kale, potato and sausage casserole. Instead, we've got pasta on the go. He kind of ruined the celery. The celery was savoury. That's why I put a bay leaf in it. He filled it with sugar. We're going to have some nuts.
I think I'm not thinking this. It's
Why
so
has he left this on the
stressful.
board?
Ben, you're making me stressed.
I thought this was supposed to be teamwork, but I feel like Jamie has stitched me up.
Okay, let's let that go in there with that. Let's take it off the heat.
7 minutes. Okay, stop panicking. This is all about passing on the baton of relay and ending up with something good. So we now have this bizarre candied syrupy celery. It's not what I was hoping for, but mixed with nuts, that's going to be a little sweet crumble topping for an apple pie. Fine. Pasta. Still needs longer. Right, I'm going to turn everything else off.
They are not crispy enough. Keep going. Applesauce. Delicious, really sweet.
I am so sorry this is now using another pan. I think we are left in a situation where the pasta is a couple of minutes off, so I'm going to add in some kale. Kale is a really delicious, nutritious, dirt cheap ingredient going into our pasta water. Then we'll drain the lot and we'll use this as a sauce to bind it. We might still go in... Oh, has he put the cream cheese in here?
All I have to do is plate here. James, I love you.
Pasta, pasta, pasta. How long? 4 minutes. Think of a plate. You flip this on me, Baz. Why are you so calm? I don't like that.
Because I've got a wonderful partner in crime.
Seasoned oil, sizzly breaded crumbs.
Pork is a bit too pink as I've cut into it, so I'm just going to warm it a bit further in my gravy sauce.
Right, drain pasta and kale.
Oh, some kale, lovely. A bit of kale would be a nice little touch, I think. We've got some hot water here, so I can just blanch that quickly.
3 minutes to get some croutons going. Lovely.
Can I have a colander back? No, not useful. Hot oil. Thank you.
I'm now using this as a pasta sauce. We've ended up with a sausage pasta bake. If that doesn't scream Jamie, I don't know what does. Delicious, I think it will be. A minute and a half to go.
Let's plate up.
They kind of have worked. A trio of apple pie. Croutons going on the pasta, 15 seconds. Texture.
Nutty croutons.
And then this caramelised celery and pecan mix. And with 4 seconds to go, all you have to do is an awful lot of clearing up.
Spam on top. Add a bit of sauce over the top.
Right, let's get those into the sexies.
Right then, guys. Budget bougie.
Yep, we're first.
What have you made?
I'm sorry.
That looks bougie.
What is it, guys?
This is a pork applesauce with onion gravy, spam,
Gammon.
gammon,
Cubes.
and a nutty bready crumb.
Every element is so hyper seasoned. Sweet, sugar, ham, salty. Whatever the thing underneath is very salty again. It's so strong in flavour though. The peanuts are a nice touch.
My plan was poached apples with a delicious vanilla custard and a peanut crumb.
Baz, I have to tell you, listening to James cook in that first go was cool, calm, collected.
It was.
He had a plan. He thought he'd set everything out for you.
And what I did, I saw it all and I went, oh, he wants me to make a apple crumble of sauce. And as I was about to commit to that,
You know I don't think in dishes though.
then
An apple crumble.
I heard Ben on the other side go, I've got a great idea. I'm going to make some apple tarts. So
New
I had
format, we could hear, and we were against you. So I stole your idea and did it quicker.
So I
No, you didn't, because it was already done.
I started from scratch and beat him.
He needed to make instant custard.
Oh, did I? Is that what I had to do?
Is that your caramelised apple?
Well, interestingly,
That was a potato.
I came in on my
That's
second
potato.
go and it was boiling in vanilla sugar syrup.
Oh, boys.
Yes.
Oh!
The reduction that I was making. And
So the potatoes
sweet
and,
applesauce and sweet crumb.
and the kale.
There's a lot of sugar in that crumb. Guess what the gravy's got in it? Sugar syrup. But I worked with what I had. I embraced Barry's
Contribution.
Who led?
switch up.
Really?
I started. You started making dessert.
But he led.
Because of the sugar syrup, it's pretty much an apple crumble. With a bit of pork.
Apple crumble.
Yeah.
With onion.
Let's reserve proper judgment and see what's on the other side of the curtain.
Perfect.
Should we see what Ben and Jay have made? Remember, budget bougie. Budget?
Jay's going to talk us through this one, and then I'm going to talk us through this.
So remember, boys, this was a team effort.
Team effort, and I might have forgotten the second part of the budget bougie, brief.
I think we've ended up with 2 dishes. Jamie helped me nail my dish, and I helped Jamie nail his dish. So I think it was teamwork, but we were doing quite different things.
What I heard, it didn't sound like teamwork.
Boys, confidence. They've nailed both dishes, yeah?
Sure.
Confidence.
okay.
Right, so what do we have, Spaff?
We have a sausage pasta that takes you to different parts of the world.
Where's the sausage?
Is that
Crumbled up.
This is budget, Baz. We stretch it a long way and bulk it out with cabbage, kale, other veg, and some pasta.
Where's the sweetness coming from?
Tamarind,
I didn't see that one coming.
tamarind sauce, and some, there might have been a little bit of honey that went in there, a little bit of tomato ketchup, and definitely spaghetti hoops.
Spaghetti hoops for the sauce.
You have nailed half the brief.
I've got another question. Was the pasta water salted? Mm-hmm. It was? Mm-hmm. Right, it may be just masked by the sugar. This reminds me a bit of the Jollibee spaghetti you get in the Philippines. Like a really sweet tomato sauce over spaghetti without the fried chicken though.
Fried pork instead?
Yeah.
A cheap sausage.
Cheap sausage.
Cheap sausage, right. Should we move on to dessert? I hope.
So, on the topic of bougie, which is just short for bourgeois, this is tarte fine, pomme et apricots, celery confit.
Potato and apricot. No,
No,
apple.
pomme. Apple.
One sec.
It's an apple and apricot tart with candied celery.
It's with
What's that?
Bread.
and
No,
sugar.
what's that?
Sugar.
Sugar. That's sugar. Wow.
I'm very intrigued by this.
Think it's going to be sweet.
It's a good idea. Why
don't deny
why
that.
the celery?
I'll be honest, the celery wasn't aiming for dessert, but I came back and Jamie had put all my celery in a sugar syrup. I think like sugar syrup is the theme today.
Sweet.
Well, there was already celery in the pasta sauce, and I thought no dish has ever needed more celery, so why can't it go with the other dish?
And I'm kind of glad, in the spirit of helping each other along, I'm quite glad.
One thing it does have going for it compared to the other two dishes, it is just one way. It's just sweet.
Oh, more dimensional.
Yeah. But it's not always a bad thing. It's not.
Okay, go.
Right then, boys. After a lot of deliberation, which was quite tricky, I must say, the loser of the tag team culinary relay battle, I'm sad to say, James and Barry.
We win! We win!
We'll take it.
We won!
No, it's my fault.
It's actually my fault.
We can't do this.
I put the salt in.
We didn't do it.
Sorry, boy.
Well, that was something completely new for us. If you liked it, let us know by giving the video a like. And how shall we mix this up next time? Comment down below.
Well done, everyone.